So you've heard me say it before. We have to be able to articulate the consequence of hunting. When someone says hunting is conservation, that's actually not true. Hunting's over here, conservation's over here. There's multiple links between the two. We just need to show the consequence of conservation. And typically we need to couch it in the environmental, in the economic, and the societal. And that's what just happened in the United Kingdom in the UK. Huge victory for grouse shooting on moors. Now, for the majority of you listening to this, you've never heard of a grouse. You've never heard of a moor. So grouse shooting in the UK is just like pheasant shooting or quail shooting. And they do it over these moors, these peatlands. There's a very short shrubby vegetation called heather. This is how special moorlands is. 60% of all designated special areas in the UK are moorlands. They are a very rare and globally threatened ecosystem, and 75% of moorlands occur in the UK. So you can see how valuable that habitat is. So just like in Colorado, the HSUS petitioned the state of Colorado with signatures to get wolves put onto the ballot for public vote. Well, the same thing happens in the UK. 10,000 signatures gets you something. 100,000 signatures gets you a debate in Parliament. Yes, but that's how it works. It's giving a voice to the local people. And you see, in that debate, the MPs, I'll call them MPs, the members of Parliament, they discuss among themselves and then they determine whether this should become a law or not. And the MPs that decide that their constituents would be either harmed or benefited from the said debate will be the ones participating. So as I said, they want grouse shooting on these moorlands removed. Who's they? The typical offenders, but in the UK now, an organization called Wild Justice, and it's championed by this guy called Chris Packham. As you can imagine, the thing that undergirdled the petition were lies, were untruths. The hunting organizations of the UK rallied together and provided all the facts to the MPs to be able to debate. And here are the facts. The gamekeepers, the stewards of these lands, have the data to prove what they do benefits wildlife. Several endangered and endemic species that occur only on moorlands. They've shown biodiversity to 5-fold higher on places where they manage. And the hen harriers have been increasing in populations and rearing chicks on moorlands protected for grouse shooting. The burning that they do that reduces the heather is the typical practice that would occur anywhere in the world. You remove the vegetation, the old vegetation, to encourage new growth, which stimulates biodiversity, which enhances wildlife use of those areas. And that was the rhetoric brought forward. Grouse moors are devoid of wildlife. No, they're not devoid of wildlife. They have 5 times more red-listed wading bird species than any other area. Burning dries out the peat and causes erosion. No, burning encourages the environment to rejuvenate itself. Grouse shooting introduces lead into the environment. No, lead mining occurs in these areas, and there's been no cause and effect from lead shooting. In fact, the shooting community is moving away from lead because they want the grouse to be sold into the food chain. Thus, they can't use lead. So with a count of 9-2, the MPs voted in rejecting the petition to remove grouse shooting on moors. And I'll end with what one MP finished his discussion point on, which is a ban would be an act of environmental, economic, and ecological vandalism. I couldn't agree with you more. So, to all those organizations in the UK, BASC, the Game and Wildlife Conservation Trust Fund, all the people on the ground, all the people that gave the facts to the MPs, and specifically for the MPs that stood up and listened to the facts, even though you may not have agreed with hunting or grouse shooting, but you saw the facts that were undeniable. My hat is off to you. Not literally, but it is. So thank you. A victory, a +1 in the column for hunters. But let's not rest on our laurels. Let's continue to fight. We'll continue to fight every single day for you. We're humbled by your support. Thank you. We can only do this because of you.